You've got a guy who's about 7'4" with an almost 8-foot wingspan, moving like a 6'7" wing, doing step backs, snatch backs, and weak side blocks that look like a horror game jump scare. Biomechanically, that should be illegal. At that height, the usual script is crazy potential, feet and knees pay the price, career gets shorter. But Wemby is breaking that script in real time. And now, with his recent knee scare at the end of 2025 layered on top of a history that already includes a shoulder blood clot, the big question is, can a human built like this actually stay healthy? Or are we watching a beautiful accident on a timer? I'm Dr. Chris Raynor, orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist, and not your everyday ortho. Today, we're diving into Victor
Wembanyama.
What makes his movement so weird, so special, and what his frame means for his health and longevity in the NBA.
Wembanyama.
We're gonna break him down the way I'd look at an MRI, his anatomy, his physics, his injury risks, and what you can steal from his training to become a more athletic, more resilient version of yourself, even if you're nowhere near 7'4". Returning viewers, support this unconventional educational movement. Give the video a like and let me know, have you ever seen an athlete so tall move with the athleticism of Victor Wembanyama?
I swear, not that hard. Wembanyama.
New viewers, welcome. Watch first. If you learn anything, join our army of intelligent interns learning about the human body. Subscribe with notifications to get alerted weekly when I post content on health and science. Let's get to 1 million subscribers and have everyone arrive there smarter. Stick around to the end. I'm gonna give you my perspective as an orthopedic surgeon and show you how to employ Victor's training techniques to maximize your own athleticism. Also, if you enjoy this breakdown, I've got a whole list of NBA injuries, tall athletes, and knee mechanics, including my breakdown on freakishly tall lifters like Tom Haviland. That's linked in the description. Who is Victor Wembanyama and why does he stand out in a league full of giants? The physics problem. Why 7'4" bodies don't move like guards, and what happens to the joints when they try. His injury history, including that recent knee scare and what it tells us about his timeline. His training approach, why it's deliberately weird and why that's smart. What you can steal, whether you're a tall athlete or just trying to move better. Let's start with who he is.
Howdy, y'all. This is Wemby.
French, born in 2004, plays for the San Antonio Spurs. Officially listed around 7'4" or 2.23 meters, with an absurd standing reach and wingspan. Number 1 pick in the 2023 draft, Rookie of the Year. Already an all-star and leading the league in blocks at various points in his young career. In plain language, he's doing stuff we normally only see when somebody hacks the sliders.
That's the best we're going to be able to do. Again, just certain attributes you're not going to be able to get because the dude is just a freak of nature.
Why does he stand out in a league where everyone is tall? Because he's combining 3 things that almost never live in the same body at that height. Number 1, extreme length, minute bull tier. Number 2, guard-like ball handling and shooting. And number 3, real mobility. He actually moves his feet on the perimeter. Most 7-footers pick 1 or 2 of these. Wemby is trying to run the full skill tree. Think of it like a video game character build. Most big men max out size and interior defense. Wemby allocated points to perimeter shooting, ball handling, and lateral quickness. That's not supposed to work. But it is. In 2 minutes, I'll show you why the physics of his frame makes this so dangerous and so impressive. From an orthopedics biomechanics lens, Wembanyama is basically a walking physics problem. Long bones, femur, tibia, humerus, longer levers means you can generate more torque at the end of the limb with the same muscle force. That's great for blocking shots and dunking without jumping very high. But longer levers also means higher joint loads. The farther the foot is from the knee, the more stress the knee sees when you cut or land. Studies on explosive performance show greater body mass is negatively associated with jump height. Longer lower limbs and better neuromuscular coordination help performance. In simple terms, tall, heavy bodies have more inertia to start and stop. That's why most 7-footers look like they're playing in lag mode. The real risk is that controlling that much limb with that much precision that quickly without blowing something out is biomechanically hard. So when you see Wembanyama doing a sidestep 3 or snaking a pick and roll at 7'4", you're watching someone who has solved a very hard mechanical problem. But physics doesn't forget. And that recent knee scare, that's the reminder. Hold that thought. let's talk injuries. Does height automatically make you injury prone? Not exactly, but the data is clear. Research on basketball and jumping shows taller athletes with higher mass tend to have lower relative jump heights and slower change of direction times on average. Injury-wise, data from field and court sports suggests that greater height and body size are modest risk factors for more severe injuries, especially to the lower extremity. For very tall athletes, the usual suspects are feet, stress fractures in the navicular metatarsals, ankles, chronic sprains and instability, knees, patellar tendinopathy, cartilage wear, ACL risk due to long lever arms, and the back, load on the lumbar spine. So when people worry about Wemby's long-term health, they're not just hating. The physics does stack the deck. Before the NBA, fibular stress fracture, finger fracture, some hip, psoas, and shoulder issues, nothing catastrophic like a foot blowout or an ACL tear. In the NBA, rookie year, played the majority of games, mostly minor ankle and hip stuff, plus planned rest. In 2024 to 25, the big one, deep vein thrombosis or DVT in his right shoulder, a blood clot that ended his season. That's serious, but it's a vascular issue, not classic big man knees disintegrating. He's also had a calf strain and some minor scares. For a 7'4" guy, calf and Achilles problems are often the warning shots. Now, about that December 35, 2025 knee injury. Public reporting describes it as a knee tweak, with early imaging and exams reportedly reassuring. More like a mild sprain or contusion rather than an ACL explosion. Medically, that means pain and swelling, rest, imaging to be safe, short-term modification of load and movement patterns. Focus on quad and hamstring strength, neuromuscular control, and landing mechanics. For a body like Wemby's, every scare matters because those long levers magnify forces at the joint. But one isolated tweak with clean imaging is not the same as chronic breakdown. The real story will be the pattern over the next 5 to 8 years. So how's he staying together so far? That brings us to his training. Here's what most people get wrong about training tall athletes. They think more muscle equals more durability. Just slap 30 to 40 pounds on the frame in one off season and you're good. But if you take a 7'4" frame and do that, you spike joint loads and tendon stress faster than the body can adapt. That's how you get stress fractures, tendinopathies, and early arthritis. Reports out of San Antonio and from long-form features describe Wembanyama's training approach as deliberately unusual. Number 1, gradual weight gain. About 25 to 30 pounds since entering the league into the mid 240s. Not a bulked 270 plan. Number 2, emphasis on mobility, balance, and full body coordination. Martial arts style work, pool sessions, and mobility flows. Number 3, strength focused more on controlling his levers than chasing powerlifting numbers. From an orthopedic point of view, that's smart. By gaining slowly and pairing that with mobility and neuromuscular training, he's increasing the stability at the knee, hip, and ankle. He's improving contact tolerance. He doesn't get bumped off his line as easily. And he's preserving the lateral quickness he already has. Smart, control levers, improve coordination, gradual adaptation. Ego, max lifts, bulk fast, chase numbers. We don't have perfect before and after force plate data in public, but the high level trend is more strength and mass, same or better defensive impact, and no obvious drop off in mobility so far. That's exactly what you want. All right, so enough NBA talk. Let's talk about you. If you're an amateur hooper, a weekend warrior, or just trying to be more athletic for real life, what can you steal from Wembanyama's approach? Train like a mover, not just a lifter. Even Tom Haviland, the tall, strong man from my other video, is a perfect example. Strength is great, but if you can't control your body in space, your joints will collect the bill. For you, 2 to 3 days per week of big compound lifts, squats, hinges, pushes, pulls. 2 to 3 days per week of movement, lateral shuffles, skips, hops, deceleration drills, change of direction. Respect deceleration. Most injuries happen when you land or stop, not when you jump. Add drop landings from a low box, focusing on soft, quiet landings. Lateral hops with controlled stops. Simple basketball style closeout drills, then slam on the brakes under control. Build ankle and foot armor. Tall, short, or in between. Your feet are your foundation. Barefoot balance work. Calf raises, bent and straight knee, short foot drills, and toe spreading. If you're tall, your priorities should look a lot like Victor's. Number 1, hip and glute strength, to keep your knees from collapsing in when you cut or land. Number 2, core control, not six-pack aesthetics, anti-rotation and anti-extension work to control that long spine. Number 3, progressive strength, not ego strength. Slow, steady loading over months and years. And honestly, for big frames like Wembanyama or Haviland, less can be more. Slightly less absolute bulk, slightly more mobility and tissue quality. Usually beats maximal mass for joint health and longevity. So here's a Wemby-inspired weekly routine. Is this exactly what Wemby does? No, but it's built on the same principles. Move in multiple directions, control long levers, build enough strength to handle load, not so much that you become a statue. If you're a tall athlete, would you prioritize maximal strength or mobility and coordination? Comment your height and your answer. So what does Victor Wembanyama tell us about human performance? That even at extreme sizes, with smart training, good biomechanics, and a bit of luck, you can push the limits of what a body is supposed to do. His unusual athleticism doesn't just make him fun to watch. It's a live action case study in physics, anatomy, and injury prevention. Will his training influence his longevity? Strong, maybe yes, with 2 caveats. Number 1, the DVT changes the conversation. Vascular events are a different category from ankle sprains. If it was linked to anatomy or repetitive stress, that has to be managed carefully for the rest of his career. And number 2, the knee and lower limb load never go away. As he ages, you'd expect more focus on strength around the hips and core. Very deliberate load management, minutes, back-to-backs, and constant monitoring for early signs of tendinopathy or cartilage wear. So far, his structural musculoskeletal record is better than a lot of guys his size at the same age. That's a fantastic sign. But physics doesn't forget. Wembanyama is breaking the tall athlete script with smart training, gradual adaptation, and elite coordination. The question isn't if he's unique, it's whether he's the first of a new breed. If you want to see how Wembanyama compares to other NBA freaks, KD, Giannis, Chet Holmgren, and who's built to last, that breakdown is coming soon. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for joining me in this breakdown of the otherworldly athleticism that allows Victor Wembanyama to stand out even amongst giants. Let's wrap it up with a roundtable analysis from you, the intern army. Do you think that Victor Wembanyama is unique, or is he only the first in a new breed of athletes making their way into professional sports? If you're a tall athlete, 6'6" or above, what's your biggest training challenge? Strength? Mobility? Staying healthy? Should we make a follow-up comparing Wembanyama's training to other NBA giants like Giannis, KD, and Chet? Comment yes if you want that breakdown. Join my intern army and click on notifications to catch my uploads on Sundays. Paid members get early access and ad-free versions. Follow my gym Human 2.0 Fitness here on YouTube for content that helps you move better and prevent injury, or its sister channel, Human at Home, for being healthy where you live. And don't forget to check out my live streams for both free and paid members coming to you soon. Otherwise, as always, that's been a word from Dr. Chris Raynor, not your everyday ortho, where we see one, do one, teach one. Nothing but net, baby. Nothing but net.